breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. U.S. Senator Kyrsten Sinema announcing her intention to leave the Democrat Party this week, 4 years after being elected. Correspondent Mary Claire Jelonic reports a switch makes sense for the independently minded Sinema.
What it is really more about her than the Senate. It's not going to change functionally the operations of the Senate or the Democrats' majority. She hasn't said specifically that she will caucus with the Democrats, but she has said that she will not caucus with the Republicans.
The Arizona lawmaker said she made the move to fight what she calls a broken partisan system in Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear a free speech case involving a scam that falsely promoted adult adoptions as a path to U.S. citizenship.
The case the High Court agreed to hear involves the operator of a Sacramento, California nonprofit called Americans Helping America Chamber of Commerce. The government said that between 2012 and 2016, the operator, Helleman Hansen, persuaded at least 471 people to join his adult adoption program, even though he knew the adoptions he was promoting would not lead to citizenship. People paid between $550 and $10,000 to participate.
That is Norman Hall reporting. Ukraine struggling now with its economy.
The government has been relying on the central bank to print money to cover its huge deficits caused by the war. Tax revenue has fallen and defense spending has soared for next year's budget. Kiev is looking for ways to pay for its war effort at least through next year. By then, hopes are that a price cap on Russian oil sales will put Moscow on the economic defensive.
That is correspondent Jeremy House reporting. And it was a losing session to end the week yesterday on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down just over 300 points. Meanwhile, the high-tech NASDAQ also suffered. It was down by 77. More from townhall.com.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Bring more joy to your world when you find what you love and love what you find. Always lowest prices at Total Wine and More.
Hi, this is Dennis Prager. As you know, the culmination of my life's work has been writing my Rational Bible Commentary series. I have done Genesis, Exodus, and the just-released Deuteronomy. They are all called the Rational Bible because my approach is entirely reason-based. So if you're looking for the perfect holiday gift, even for someone with no faith, in fact especially, I recommend giving them my Rational Bibles. Go to PragerStore.com. You can buy them individually or as a complete set. That's PragerStore.com or click the banner.
You wake up and wonder, what's going on in this crazy world? The Ed Dean Show, Jacksonville's only local radio talk show, is here every weekday morning from 6 to 9 to answer that question. Then, Mike Gallagher takes the latest, analyzes and comments on it, 9 till noon. Then, the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, inspired by Rush, take over to help fill out the picture. Then, How to Manage Your Money with Del Walmsley. Then, Financial Issues in its new time slot at 4. Then, it's The Great One, Mark Levin from 6 to 9. Then finally, end your day with the wisdom of Dennis Prager. In this crazy world, that's how we do it. Every weekday on AM 600 and 101.1 FM. WBOB.
Thank you for listening to WBOB. Our studios are sponsored by Griffin Service, Cooling, Plumbing, and Heating, home of the Florida rated system. Griffin Service, 904-298-6757. Go to griffinservice.com. Jacksonville's only morning local political talk show, the Ed Dean Radio Show. News, opinion, and your chance to call in with your opinion. Weekdays 6 till 9 a.m. on AM 600 WBOB. How will the weather affect you? WBOB weather.
Mostly cloudy.
It's time for Real Estate Radio with Angela and Howard. Angela and Howard talk about what's new in real estate and answer your buying and selling questions. To participate in today's show, call 222-TALK. That's 222-8255. And now, here are Angela and Howard.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me, Tom? Yay. Okay, I don't hear it. There we go. Good morning, everybody. So excited to be here with you today. We are in the studio live, and we have Angela and Susan and Adrienne is our guest today.
Hello.
So, yes, I'm so excited because I don't know what it is, but I just love to have experts in their field come and talk to our customers because I feel like it really adds value to people's lives. And when I met Adrienne, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but she added value to my life and to my business. And I made more money and my customers made more money because we included her in our processes. Not in every single transaction, of course, but when needed. And so it was fantastic. And so I really wanted her to come on our show today to talk to everyone because we have a wide audience. We have real estate agents who listen. We have investors who listen. We have regular Joes who listen who aren't even thinking about real estate. It's just that they're talkies and they listen to the best station, WBOB, all day long. And so they're going to be excited to hear about you too, even though they're not selling. And for some of those people who aren't selling their home, but you think, man, I wish somebody would come and help me make my house look more beautiful. That's Adrienne.
Right.
So that's exactly who needs to hear it today. It's everybody. And it's everyone who listens to our show. So we are delighted. I want to give a little bit of background about Adrienne. So her name is Adrienne Lord, and her background, actually, this was surprising to me that your background was in IT software training, but back in 2007, began staging as a hobby for friends who were realtors. So a few years later, then she partnered with a general contractor and started a handyman company. She quickly realized that much of the work they were doing was related to making homes look better so that they could put them up for sale. I mean, what a genius idea, right? So that turned from being a hobby into a staging business. And then in 2015, she branded that company as Sell or Dwell. And then that company got rebranded in 2020 as Stage to Sell. So Stage to Sell is where you will find her today. Now, Adrienne, y'all get ready for this. She is the past president of the local chapter of the Real Estate Staging Association, also known as RESA. And she is the current Florida State president of RESA. So that's a big deal. That's the whole state of Florida, right?
That's right. And actually,
am I saying it wrong?
I always say it sort of sounds like Teresa because it's Risa.
Risa. See, I was saying it wrong. That's okay. That's why I love that.
That's okay.
Help me out. I love that. Now, a few months ago at the Risa National Conference, Adrienne was awarded the State President of the Year and was a finalist for the coveted Lori Kim Polk Lifetime Achievement Award. Wow. Y'all, we're in the presence of greatness right here,
yeah.
right?
Shucks.
Yeah, right? She's also been a keynote speaker for the RESA Florida State Conference and has spoken at local and regional conferences for over a decade. This last July, Adrienne once again spoke at the RESA National Conference in Las Vegas to a standing room only crowd, teaching hundreds of stagers from across the country. That is a big deal. You're the teacher of the doers. I love that. Right?
Train the trainers.
Train the trainers. That makes you the best. And she's also been teaching locally 3-hour CE classes, continuing ed classes, which I recently took, actually this week. And it's called Staging to Sell What Every Agent Should Know. So she's been teaching that since 2017 and teaching this class longer than any other instructor in the state.
Correct.
See, I love that. And in 2019, she was awarded the National Instructor of the Year for RESA. So I'd like y'all to, welcome me in joining her because it is a big deal that you are here today. Thank you.
Well, it's a big deal for me to be here with you. I'm sitting with greatness. So I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, here's one thing I say to everyone who's on our show. So don't think it's a special question. It's the important question.
Okay.
I always say people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So what is it that got you into staging in the first place? Where's the passion? Where's the drive?
Yeah, so it's funny. So I had a day job. I was in IT, like you mentioned, and sometimes being too honest got me in trouble. But also, I see being too honest helped me start a new business. So, so I was doing this as a hobby, and I had a lot of friends in the St. John's area that were realtors. And then, Angela, what happened in 2007, 2008 in real estate?
Oh, boom. It just busted, didn't it? The market went down. It was hard to sell houses.
It was. And so I had personal friends who would say, your house is beautifully decorated. Come help me get this house ready.
Yes.
Now, I didn't know what staging was. I literally Googled, decorate house to sell.
Oh, I love it.
And I learned, 2007, that's what staging is.
Yes.
I'm embarrassed to say, but I didn't know what it was. And so it was hit or miss back then. But what I did know is that when I was helping these agents, particularly houses that were occupied, and they were listening to me from start to finish, even in that bleak 2008, 2009 market. I mean, that was a tough market.
It was tough.
Their houses were consistently selling. They were rarely expiring. They were rarely having price reductions.
I love it.
Well, that was a unicorn. Something sparked in me.
Yes.
And so when I took an early retirement, air quotes, sometimes when your company gets bought, you're forced to retire whether you want to or not, and you have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
So when I bought a handyman franchise, and these folks that were, had been my customers for years, they're realtors, right?
Right.
They're calling me and saying, all right, now I need to get the house ready to put on the market. I need to put in new light fixtures or paint or whatever.
Yes.
But here's what they were doing, and it was driving me bananas, Angela, is they would do all of these things. They would paint, they would put the new light fixture in, they would, whatever. But then they would go back in and they would put their family pictures back up and they would they would jam the room with too much furniture.
Yes.
And I would say, look, if you buy all of these things from me, like the set of stuff to get your house ready that you already had on your list, I will give you a list of how to decorate it, how to stage it.
Yes.
And that morphed into, within 18 months, the handyman business was gone, and we were so busy staging.
I love it.
And so we, that's kind of how we started. And then we officially became a brand in 2015, 7 years ago.
That is amazing. And I love how that all came about. So it's very interesting to me that one of the things you said is I didn't know, and I Googled it. So I have to say, as I just read off your list of credentials and accomplishments that you have made, you went from I didn't know anything about it to being at the top of your game, the top of the field. Forget just your game.
Not
the top
overnight.
Of the field. Not overnight.
Right.
But throughout a decade. And it's amazing to me when you find people who are so passionate about what they're doing that they really become a self-made success. And I love that. And that's what you are. All right, we have a minute to go before our break. Mm-hmm. So I want to give an idea to people to entice them to listen to the next segment and the next segment and the next segment of the things that we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So now they know who you are. So let's give them a little idea what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about who needs staging. Why do you need staging? How does it benefit you if you stage your home? And are you staging because you're going to live there? Are you staging because you're moving? Are you staging because you're an investor and you have an Airbnb? I mean, there are so many great reasons to hire a stager, and I want you guys to stay tuned to listen to the ins and outs of why you need a stager. So stay with us, and we are going to be right back.